Good morning. In the news this morning. Winter is coming. Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. If this is your first time visiting my channel, my name is Christine Cohen. I'm a registered dietitian and a New York City-based high-intensity fitness specialist, and I like to talk a lot about mental health and nutrition and exercise and other cool stuff like that. Today, I'm going to talk about a subject that affects me and affects a lot of people, and that is something called seasonal affect disorder, or SAD. So during the winter months, when it gets really cold, and here in New York City and the sun is hiding behind clouds and it's just gloomy and miserable, I tend to have more trouble keeping my mood elevated, my motivation going. That's when my depression has been the strongest in the past. And I used to actually be very weary of the winter months. I used to I don't enjoy winter. I'm not I love cold weather. I love fall, but I don't love cold weather. I don't want to be wrapped up in 20 layers and have to worry about still being cold at the end of that. But this is where I live and this is where I choose to live, so I gotta make do. But there have been times where I have considered moving to warmer climates like California, and maybe that day will still come, but it is not today. So therefore, I just thought that something was wrong with me before I really knew what SAD was, before I knew what the symptoms were, before I knew that this was even possible. I think a lot of people throw this word around, seasonal affect disorder, but the winter blues are something that I think affects a lot of people. And the thing is, does it consistently affect you? Sometimes this makes it hard to motivate yourself to do the things that you normally want to do. You don't want to socialize with friends, you don't want to go outside because it's cold, but then you end up staying stuck inside for longer than you really should, and then that lack of social interaction makes it worse. You could just have fatigue for no reason. A lot of people really feel depressed during this time of year, and you really notice that you start to come out of it when the weather gets nicer. You start to feel more normal, you start to feel more happy, you start to feel just more regular in your thinking and your overall outlook for the day as the weather starts to warm up and the sun starts to come out. The seasonal affect disorder is people who are actually experiencing a kind of depression that does come with the change of the season. Also, something that I've experienced is summer onset depression. It's strange, but I don't enjoy super hot weather either, and that also seems to trigger something in me, and I have to work equally as hard sometimes during the summer months to keep my mood up as I do in the winter. Fall and spring seem to be great, and I seem to really it comes easier for me to feel good during those times. So actually, just some facts I'm going to read off that I just learned are between 4% and 6% of people in the US are believed to suffer from seasonal affect disorder. Another 10% to 20% experience milder forms of winter onset seasonal affect disorder. It's more common in women than in men. Some children and teenagers are affected, and it usually occurs in people between the ages of 18 and 30 years old. I noticed that I get more, I love Christmas, so that takes me through December. January, I'm still coming off of a high from the holidays, and February and March is really where I get hit. And I've actually purposely taken vacations during February and March to Florida or warm climates just to be in the sun. And I seriously think that has a huge effect on it in a good way. So what are the causes of seasonal affect disorder? Of course, it's not exactly known because we're studying the brain and there's so many complicated things that happen with the brain, but the things that are suggested to have a relationship to seasonal affect disorder and possibly cause it are: 1, vitamin D deficiency. Vitamin D is deficient in pretty much everyone. You can pretty much guarantee that unless you live in a warm climate all year round and you are wearing shorts and a tank top with your skin exposed to the sun without wearing sunscreen for at least 20 minutes every day, you are more likely to have vitamin D deficiency. So welcome to the club. There's probably 7 billion of us. That's not a statistic, I just made that up. A lack of sunlight keeps the hypothalamus from working. That's a part of your brain. And it disrupts circadian rhythms. These are just fancy words for saying it disrupts your sleep cycles and the quality of your sleep, so that you're not really ever getting great rest. So when our sleep cycles are out of whack, this also throws our melatonin and serotonin hormones out of whack as well. So in people with SAD, it's actually suggested that melatonin is overproduced, which could be a reason why that sleepy feeling just feels like it's much longer and prolonged throughout the day. Serotonin is a hormone that affects our mood and our appetite. Not having enough serotonin produced naturally in our body is linked to depression. Two are thrown off, it's just obviously a chain reaction. So our sleeps are thrown off, our mood is already thrown off, like we're not producing the right amount of hormones, bad. So what are some of the symptoms of SAD? A decrease in energy, trouble sleeping, a loss in interest in activities that you enjoy, depressive feelings, decreased sex drive, an increase or decrease in weight. Newsflash, sugar addiction and cravings for carbs are common with people who have seasonal affective disorder. Hello, I'm part of that club. Yeah. And it's kind of a lie, because after a while it doesn't make you feel great. You feel even lower because the sugar carb and sugar crash. At the end of the day, I'm exactly where I am, or I'm worse off. So thanks for nothing. These symptoms could be related to other medical conditions that are going on. So no matter what, it's always good to seek out a mental health professional or a medical professional to really identify what could be going on. Blood work can show if your body is deficient in vitamin D, for instance. But other things that could be connected with this have to do with your thyroid, hypoglycemia, things like infectious diseases like mono. So, like I said, try not to self-diagnose yourself, even though all the information is on Google and WebMD and all those other sites, but go see your medical professional. I recommend trying to see someone who has experience with functional medicine and alternative practices instead of just the straight up traditional medical MD, because at least the former will be more open to other potential things and probably not be so apt to put you on a certain medication, pharmaceutical drug, just to clear up your symptoms. They might actually help to and work with you on figuring out the actual cause. So that being said, there are no medical tests to test for seasonal affective disorder. Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. So before you feel like you need to go out and take antidepressants to help yourself, I'm going to give you some natural remedies that can support and really help you not feel this way. The first thing I'm going to go to is the vitamin D deficiency. If you are not taking a vitamin D3 supplement during the year, especially during the winter months, especially if you live in the extreme northern or southern hemisphere. I live in New York. That's what I'm talking about. If it's not sunny all effing year round. The dosages of vitamin D3 that are recommended are somewhere around 2,000 IUs a day, but for some people who are extremely low and deficient, it has been recommended to take up to 50,000 IUs, and that is not something that you would continue doing forever, but for a shortened period of time to get your levels back up to the within normal limits. This is something I need to do, actually, and get my blood work tested. Well, and the second thing is get outside. Get into fresh air, expose yourself to the elements. It will definitely help your mood for that time. It's also like changing your physicality, changing your state. Cold air tends to really do something good for our body. Cold air, cold water. You could splash cold water on your face. So bundle up and get as much light exposed to your body as you can. Thirdly, eat well. Although you may want to eat all of the comfort foods, all of the carbs, all of the cozy, warm, delicious treats, it's not gonna do you any good. And I'm talking from personal experience. Sometimes it's really hard for me to shift my thought pattern because I really want some kind of comfort food. Ooh, that scared me. to make me feel better, and ultimately I have to just pick what's going to be better for me in the future. That's not going to just satisfy me right there and then, but is going to be better for me tomorrow or the next day or the week after. And this is not going to be anything new, but don't make processed foods and high sugary foods a part of your everyday meal planning routine, a part of your everyday nutrition, a part of what you consume regularly. That includes everything from high carbohydrates like processed breads and pastas and cereals and stuff like that, to sweets, obviously, to candy, to junk food. And it also includes adding sugar to your beverages. Make smart choices, whole foods, good proteins, high fats, healthy fibrous carbs that are vegetables, that are sweet potatoes, plantains, rice, Brussels sprouts, like cabbage, spaghetti squash. Just get in a good balance. They're also going to be supporting you with good antioxidants and other vitamins and minerals that you could be missing out on if you choose to eat crappy processed foods over this stuff. So really shift. If you're doing 50-50, make it 70-30, make it 80-20, make it 90-10. Just make the better choice. Okay, a few other supplements. B vitamins can be helpful with feelings of depression and anxiety. So taking a B complex might be a good idea. Just note that B vitamins can have a weird interaction if you are already taking antidepressants. So again, just clear it with your doctor. St. John's wort. It's an herbal remedy. It's something that has been used all over the world, and it actually does have a great effect and treatment from mild to moderate depression, equivalent to some pharmaceutical drugs. It takes about 6 to 8 weeks to have a full effect on your system. So in anticipation of seasonal affective disorder, I would start it before you start feeling the symptoms. Also, there could potentially be a drug interaction. Check it and clear it with your doctor, and you guys can come up with the proper dosage of what is best for where you're at. SAMI, which is short for S-adenosyl L-methionine. Again, taking supplements, like, you don't really know what's in them because they're not regulated by the FDA, but from doing some research, I found that there's a recommendation of using only, I'm going to put this up on the screen because I'm really bad at pronouncing chemical names, use only the butan edisulfonate form of enteric coated tablets or in a capsule form. And there's a recommendation of trying 400 to 1600 milligrams a day on an empty stomach. EPA, DHA is something that I think most people should be taking as a maintenance for your cardiovascular health, for just low inflammation, just to get the beneficial effects of the DHA. Studies have found that fish oil may also be really helpful in mood disorders. So this is omega-3 fish oil specifically, not 6, not 9, omega-3. I've personally never tried a light box, and I'm definitely open to it. I just never got one. It's been said that like 60 to 80% of people who experience sad symptoms see improvements in their disposition, and it's actually one of the most effective treatments currently. So light therapy allows you to get exposure to bright artificial light during difficult times of the year. It's recommended that people start using it at the first signs of just decreased mood or sad, and using it regularly until springtime. Most people require about 15 to 30 minutes of the light box exposure, and after 3 to 4 days actually start to see their symptoms start to decrease. And then full improvement really happening after a full 2 weeks of doing that consistently, 15 to 30 minutes every day. It might also be smart to see a healthcare professional that specializes in light therapy, because although you can get one without a prescription, like some of them may be too strong, the UV rays may be too much, and I don't know, might give you a headache, it might expose you to too much, so you just want to be smart about that also. Hello, exercise. That's my shtick, right? Keep exercising if that's something that's part of your regular routine, and if it's not, you may want to start now. It's only October 23rd, and we're just gonna get more and more into the shorter and shorter days of the year. So getting out and going for a walk 15 to 30 minutes on most days of the week could set yourself up for having a stronger, like, just force against the upcoming winter if you start now than start when you start to feel depressed. Because I know when I start to feel kind of low, it's even harder for me to do the things that I was normally doing. So if I wasn't even exercising, it would probably take a lot more effort for me to even want to start it. Okay, I think that's all I wanted to cover for today. So I personally will be doing my vitamin D supplements. I'm going to continue exercising on a regular basis. I will probably look into getting a light box because that sounds kind of cool. Although my apartment does get a decent amount of light, but I don't know. I'm going to see. I continue taking my EPA, DHA, omega-3 fish oil supplement, making sure my diet is not inflammatory producing, that I'm eating lots of fruits and vegetables, I'm getting great antioxidants, I'm getting good quality proteins, I'm getting healthy carbs, and really good fats to just help, create the strongest force that I can against the upcoming winter. If I do start to experience anything more severely, I will probably start taking a vitamin B complex, and I may take that SAMI supplement as well. I've never actually taken that, so I'd be open to trying it. And if I do, I will certainly let you know. Please comment below if you have tried any of these treatments, if SAD is something that you do suffer from, and if you were able to help yourself through purely just nutritional alternative ways, some of the ones I just mentioned, or if there are any others that you have done consistently that are like your go-tos that you feel strongly recommending personally, that you've had a good experience with. I would love to hear that. And then on the opposite side, let me know if this is something that, again, you experience but you just have never tried to work through with nutritional therapies, or if you have tried nutritional therapies and they just don't work. I want to hear all the sides. So comment below with your experience. I would love to talk to you more about it. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'll be doing many more of these videos in the future, and I just really enjoy all of the comments and the connection with the people who are watching so far. So thanks guys, keep it up. All right, that's gonna be all for today. So thank you guys for watching, and have an amazing, amazing, amazing day.